1. Which SwiftUI property wrapper should you use to hold view local mutable state that triggers view updates? A. At environment object. B. At observed object. C. At state. D. At published. 2. When designing a training module for adults new to SwiftUI, which approach best follows adult learning principles? A. Long theoretical lectures about SwiftUI internals. B. Task-centered labs that build small apps with immediate feedback. C. Giving a single comprehensive textbook and no practice. D. Rote memorization of API names. 3. Which modifier correctly makes a text view accessible to assistive technologies with a custom label? A. Accessibility hidden label. B. Accessibility label. C. Accessibility hint label. D. Accessibility value label. 4. In a list of dynamic rows backed by identifiable models, which pattern avoids performance problems when rows change order? A. Using for each without ID and relying on array index. B. Using for each with each model conforming to identifiable and stable IDs. C. Rebuilding the entire view manually on every change. D. Using ZStack instead of list. 5. Which combined publisher operator is most appropriate to throttle user-typed search input so network requests are limited? A. Debounce for scheduler. B. Throttle for scheduler. C. Map. D. Scan. 6. For mentoring a junior iOS dev learning SwiftUI, which feedback strategy is most effective? A. Correcting every line they write publicly. B. Pair programming with targeted questions and short debriefs. C. Letting them self-teach with no guidance. D. Only providing written code reviews after a month. 7. When creating a form with validation in SwiftUI, which architecture cleanly separates validation logic from view code? A. Putting all validation in the view body. B. Using a view model, observable object, with validation methods and published validation state. C. Embedding validation in custom modifiers on text fields only. D. Validating only on submit inside the view without state. 8. Which approach ensures consistent assessment of learners' SwiftUI skills in a course? A. One subjective code review by a single instructor. B. A rubric with objective criteria, sample solutions, and blind scoring. C. Letting learners grade themselves only. D. Counting time spent coding as the only metric. 9. When should you use at environment object instead of passing bindings or observed objects? A. For single-use local state within a view. To share an app-wide model across many view hierarchies when the object is provided higher in the view tree. C. To persist data to disk automatically. D. To replace at state entirely. 10. Which navigation system is recommended in SwiftUI for pushing views in typical iOS apps as of iOS 16 plus? A. UI navigation controller only. B. Navigation stack with programmatic path binding. C. Tab view for hierarchical navigation. D. Presenting modal sheets for every detail screen. 11. For curriculum development covering app performance, which topics should be prioritized for SwiftUI learners? A. How to make views as large as possible. B. View identity, minimal state, use of equatable view, and avoiding expensive computation in body. C. Using print statements for profiling exclusively. D. Relying only on the simulator for performance assumptions. 12. Which technique prevents unnecessary SwiftUI view recomputation when a parent state changes but child view doesn't depend on it? A. Mark child view structs as class types. B. Use at state and parent for everything. C. Extract child into its own view and mark it with equatable or conform to equatable to reduce redraws. D. Force redraws using IDUI'd frequently. 13. In a regulated environment, e.g. healthcare app, what compliance measure must a SwiftUI developer consider when handling user data? A. Store everything in user defaults without encryption for convenience. B. Encrypt sensitive data at rest and in transit, follow relevant laws, HIPAA, and limit telemetry sharing. C. Send logs with patient identifiers to third-party analytics by default. D. Hardcode credentials into info.plist for easy access. 14. Which pattern is best for unit testing view logic in SwiftUI? A. Writing UI tests only and skipping unit tests. B. Extracting logic to view models, observable object, and testing those with XCTest. C. Testing view body rendering by taking screenshots only. D. Relying on manual QA to validate logic. 15. When communicating breaking API changes to a team learning SwiftUI, which strategy reduces confusion? A. Announce changes only in a single channel chat message. B. Provide migration guides, sample code, and short hands-on migration workshops. C. Expect each developer to discover changes on their own. D. Remove old code without notice. 16. Which modifier adds an animation to state changes for a view? A. Dot with animation. B. Dot animate. C. Dot transition alone with no animation context. D. Dot animation applied to a view or with animation closure around the state mutation. 17. What is the recommended way to persist small user preferences from SwiftUI? A. Storing in a plain global variable. B. Using app storage to bind user defaults keys to SwiftUI properties. C. Writing files directly in the Documents folder for each preference manually. D. Hardcoding preferences in the code. 18. For evaluating learners' competency with SwiftUI accessibility, which method is most robust? A. Asking them if they added accessibility labels. B. Automated and manual accessibility checks, screen reader testing, and rubric-based scoring of accessibility outcomes. C. Checking only color contrast with the naked eye. D. Ignoring accessibility during assessment. 19. When mentoring a team to adopt SwiftUI, what change management communication is most effective? A. Mandate immediate migration with no transition plan. B. Provide a phased migration plan, real examples, training sessions, and leadership buy-in. C. Replace all UIKit code overnight without tests. D. Keep migration secret to avoid pushback. 20. Which SwiftUI property wrapper fits best for observing a reference type model shared between views and updating on changes? A. At state object or at observed object, with the model conforming to observable object and using at published for properties. B. At state only. C. At binding only. D. At environment only. 21. When designing a curriculum module on combined SwiftUI, what hands-on task best assesses applied understanding? A. Reading combined documentation and summarizing it. B. Build a debounced search feature wired to a network publisher and bind results to a SwiftUI list. C. Memorize combine operator names. D. Watching a video of combine examples. 22. Which accessibility best practice should be taught for custom controls in SwiftUI? A. Ignore accessibility because standard controls are accessible by default. B. Implement accessibility label, accessibility value, accessibility traits, and proper focus behavior for custom controls. C. Only rely on color changes to indicate state. D. Hide custom controls from assistive tech to simplify implementation. 23. How should a mentor approach a learner who repeatedly makes the same SwiftUI data binding mistake? A. Reprimand publicly to deter mistakes. Diagnose underlying misunderstanding. Provide a targeted mini-lesson. Give practice tasks and follow up. C. Ignore the issue and hope it resolves itself. D. Remove them from the team. 24. Which technique improves list performance when dealing with large datasets in SwiftUI? A. Load all items at once and render them immediately. B. Use lazy VStack or pagination with onAppear and lightweight row views that avoid heavy work in body. C. Use image system name for every row regardless of need. D. Nest many VStack HStack layers without optimization. 25. When assessing a SwiftUI course's effectiveness, which evaluation method yields the most actionable insight? A. Only measuring learner satisfaction post-course. B. Pre-post competency tests, practical project assessments, and follow-up behavior metrics, e.g. code quality and repo. C. Counting attendance only. D. Relying on instructor impression. 26. Which approach handles localization L10N correctly in SwiftUI? A. Hard-coding text in English throughout the views. B. Using localized string key, localizable.strings, and testing with different locales and right-to-left layouts. C. Appending translations in the view code manually. D. Ignoring layout issues for long translations. 27. For secure network requests in a SwiftUI app, what should developers implement? A. Plain HTTP requests to avoid TLS complexity. B. HTTPS with proper certificate validation, app transport security compliance, and secure token storage in keychain. C. Store tokens in user defaults for easy access. D. Include secrets in the source repository. 28. Which UI testing approach is most effective for SwiftUI views? A. Only unit testing view models and ignoring UI tests. B. Combine unit tests for logic with UI tests using XUI for critical user flows and snapshot tests for regression. C. Manual testing only. D. Snapshot testing exclusively without interaction tests. 29. When teaching advanced SwiftUI topics, how should curriculum sequencing be handled? A. Teach the most complex topics first to challenge learners. B. Move from foundational concepts, state, view lifecycle, to composition, data flow, and advanced performance interop topics with scaffolded projects. C. Randomize topics each week. D. Skip fundamentals and focus on framework internals.